All right, so Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk. This is gonna be a fascinating fight, man. This is gonna be really good, right? So we've got the new champion in Zhang Weili, who first champion out of, not only is she the first champion out of China, but obviously the first female champion. And she came onto the scene in what felt like a storm. I think it was her fourth, maybe her fifth fight when she got that shot against Andrade. Got it over in China. Would have been Andrade's first title defense. First, turns out to be her first attempt at a title defense, and smokes her in like 40 seconds. Right, and then you've got Joanna, Strawweight Queen, right? Joanna champion. She's coming back after losing her belt. First she gets knocked out by Rose, then loses the rematch. Moves up to 125, challenges Shevchenko, and then comes back down, and now she's getting another shot, right? So fascinating story here, whole storyline behind, the division and both of those fighters individually. But the real question remains, what's going to happen in the fight, right? How is it going to turn out? A lot of us have been watching the build-up and stuff. We kind of get the backstory and everything, which is really cool. But ultimately, what it really comes down to is who's going to win this fight? And the answer is Joanna. Joanna is going to come out with the victory on Saturday night. One of the things that I find interesting about it is she's an underdog, right? Not a big underdog. I think she's going off at like plus 150 right now. And I'll get into that a little bit because this is part of this. Part of what I do here is we do actually bet on the fights, and I'll go into how we're choosing, or how, the methodology behind that as far as determining the winning percentage for the person, the winning probability, and how much we're going to wager. But before that, I'll actually break down the fight a little bit. Basically, I see it like this. Zhang Weili is good. She's really good. But she's only really good at what she does. Right, things she does really well. And things that she doesn't do, there's some flaws in her game, and there's some holes there, and they haven't been exploited yet. But Joanna's going to exploit them. Okay, so what Zhang does really well is she's strong, and she's strong like a bull. Okay, and she's explosive, and she seems to have good power. Seems to have some pretty good power, and her ground and pound is through the roof. Right, holds top position really well, strong on top. Ground and pound through the roof. Okay, so you look. She throws some really good leg kicks too. Steps in really well, lands some nice leg kicks. Okay, gets in tight, throws really good elbows, throws really good knees. You can tell that she practices them a lot. So she's really good with both of those. But she's got some flaws in her game, and the biggest one being, she's got two really big ones in my opinion. I don't like the way she judges distance. I don't like how she handles distance. Right? If she's on the outside, it's decent. Throws some good leg kicks, mixes things up. But when she comes in, I feel like every time she explodes and comes in, she typically comes in too far. Right? And when she comes in too far, she smothers her work. She'll land some good shots. She'll be able, on occasion. When she comes in, she'll land some good shots. Stumbling on my words here. She'll come in. She'll land some good shots. But she smothers her work a little bit too much, and she doesn't get back out. She comes in, does her work, and stays there. And then on top of it, not only does she stay there, she keeps her chin up. Right, and those are two major flaws. Comes in, doesn't get back out, doesn't work an angle. Typically comes straight in, and then keeps her chin up. That's bad news. And if you look, Danielle Taylor in her first fight in the UFC, not Zhang's first fight in the UFC, was against Danielle Taylor. Danielle Taylor caught her with some monstrous overhand rights. And Zhang's got a good chin, right? Like Weili stood up for the most part. I think Taylor rocked her at the end of the first round. Like I think she hurt her. But she caught her with some clean right hands. Like it's a flaw in the technique. It's a flaw in her style. And she was getting caught with those. Tisha Torres caught her with some of those as well. She only had 4 fights in the UFC. The other 2, she took down, I can't remember who, it was her second fight, Aguilar. Took her down, ground and pounded her, got her out of there pretty quick. And then her title fight, which was her last one against Andrade, obviously got her out of there really quick too. So we didn't get to see those flaws exploited. But that's going to play into Joanna's hands perfectly. So when Joanna's at her best, she's controlling the distance and controlling the pace. Okay, and she likes to fight long. She's typically the taller, longer girl in fights. She is in this one as well. She likes to keep people at the end. She does her work from long range. She'll come in and do some work mid-range if she needs to, when she wants to close the distance and land some shots, but typically she's on the outside. She's landing a long jab. She uses some leg kicks of her own, not quite as with the frequency that Zhang Weili does, but she'll use them. She's got a good front snap kick, a good front push kick, good teep, right? She uses all of those long range weapons. And she likes to be aggressive and play the bully and move forward, but she'll counter good as well. She'll take, she won't back up the whole time, but she'll take little steps to maintain the distance if somebody else wants to take the lead, and then she'll come in and she'll react with it. So I think that's going to actually play in. Her style is going to be set up perfectly for Zhang Weili. Like, she's going to be able to get her counters off. Zhang Weili does not move her head off the line. She's going to be right there in the center to just continually get cracked, whether Joanna wants to lead the dance or whether she wants to take half steps back and counters. Like, she's gonna be able to smash her with that one. I think if this turns into a straight kickboxing match, as the fight continues to go on, Joanna's going to continue to do better. She's going to continue to accurately judge the distance, make small little adjustments, and she's going to be able to get her shots off, and she's going to get them off nasty. Like, she's going to look good, and she's going to continually build and look better. But I think she'll look good right out the gate. Don't get me wrong, Zhang Weili will get some shots off. Like I said, she's explosive and everything, and she'll close the distance really well sometimes and get in and land a couple here and there. But Joanna's got a chin, man. She's tough. I don't see it being an issue. And Joanna, and she's really experienced. She's trained well everywhere. For example, Zhang Weili may have an advantage in the clinch. She's really strong, like physically very strong, right? She comes in there, she likes to do work up close. Maybe she gets the clinch, tries to land some elbows or some knees. She might be able to get something off. Maybe. If she does, it'll only be early in the fight. From that position, she also likes to do her grappling. She likes to grab the head, get into like a headlock, and almost like flip over, almost kind of like a hip toss, but with the head. And the other time she'll grab a whizzer and then try and flip. And she's got a couple other little trips that she'll use, trying to get somebody down and then get in top position. And she's got really strong top position. She holds that well and then lands some devastating ground and pound, particularly with her elbows. That's how she got Aguilar out of there. Or no, I'm sorry. That's how she softened her up, and then she switched over to a triangle, which looked really good, and then eventually moved it over to an armbar. But I don't see, can she get Joanna down? Maybe she'll get her down early once, maybe. And if she does, she'll stay on top for a little bit, probably about like a minute and a half. But Joanna's really well trained. She'll get on. She's strong herself. Like, she's a strong girl, man. Like, she doesn't necessarily look it. She's not nearly as muscular or as bulky as Zhang Weili is, but she's strong. Right? Like, she's got a lot of strength. Look at the way she fights off takedowns from everybody in that division. She's got great technique, knows how to use the cage, knows how to dig her feet in, and then also dig those underhooks, spin girls around. Like, her technique is top notch. Okay, she's training over there at American Top Team. They're getting her ready for this fight, and they've actually seen her before because Tisha Torres was training at American Top Team when she fought Zhang Weili. So the coaches there, not only do they, like, I'm sure they stay up to date with everybody and they're on top of the ball and they're doing their things, but they actually fought this girl once already and trained for her in that regard. And now they're going to be training up another one. They're prized people as far as the women are concerned, in my opinion. Right? No, I'm sorry. That'd be Amanda Nunes. Let me take my words back before I get in trouble now. Amanda Nunes is absolutely the prized people as far as the women are concerned at ATT. But Joanna's no joke. Joanna is no joke. And the other thing is, one other little caveat is we don't know how Zhang Weili is going to react come rounds 4 and 5. Okay, she looked like she got a little bit gassed in her first fight with Danielle Taylor. Looked fine when she got her other decision against Tisha Torres. The other two fights, ended early, so we don't really know. She's never been in rounds 4 and 5. She may end up being great. Cardio may be through the roof, no problem. Let me tell you, if you've gotten online at all and you've watched this girl's strength and conditioning routines, super impressive, man. super impressive. She is a beast. Talk about motivating. She is out there getting after it. So absolutely, there's a few little things in there that, like, I would incorporate into my own routine when I'm trying. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't fight anymore or anything like that, but I need to get back in the gym and start getting back in shape and everything. And I still do a lot of those same routines and stuff. I really enjoy them. There's some stuff in there that I just thought looked really cool that I would absolutely incorporate into my technique. Much more functional, right? I'm not going out there and just trying to do like a traditional bodybuilder routine. But anyways, this isn't about me. We don't know how her cardio is going to hold up. And as we've all heard in the past, right, muscle burns more oxygen than fat. She's got a lot of muscle on her. We'll see how it goes. But she may end up gassing out. At least enough that Joanna will be able to continue being dominant in the fight and win. So I'm absolutely going with Joanna on this one. I think she gets the victory. I'm not like guaranteeing it. It's not the lock of the week or anything crazy like that. Zhang Weili could absolutely get the victory, get the stoppage, get the victory. It doesn't necessarily have to be a stoppage. She could get the victory, but I see her as it not being as likely, right? So I would give Joanna. I mean, in a fight like this, it's a perfect example of how I would assign a win percentage or a win probability, and you'll see how that plays in later to the actual betting, choosing the amount that you bet. I'm going to say I'd give her maybe like 60% chance, maybe a little bit lower, maybe 55 if you want to be conservative. She's the underdog, so you're getting great odds at like plus 150. So, but I'm actually going to make another video where I explain the betting process using this one, and I'm also going to be putting some money on Adesanya versus Romero. So since both those fights are happening at the same time, it also changes a little bit, but I'm going to make a video explaining the betting process, like how it all breaks down and everything, so you can see perfectly, because that's going to be a big part of this channel. One of the things I think that people don't take advantage of is the fact that you can absolutely make money from betting on sports, but you need to be intelligent about it. You can't think of it as a gambler. You got to think about it as investing. It's a big difference, okay? But it makes all the difference in the world. It's all the difference in the world. So on this one, we're going with Joanna. Like I said, we'll make another video. Percentage probably going to be about 55-60%, but I'm definitely siding with her in this one. I think she's, like I said, I just think she's got a great style to beat Zhang Weili. I really do. I'll just throw in this one thing. If you look at it, the only times that Joanna lost, 2 times to Rose, 1 time to Shevchenko, as far as the MMA career is concerned. And we won't talk about the first loss to Rose because that was a knockout, because I want to actually talk about the style, how she lost the fight. If you look at it, the reason she lost those fights were basically kickboxing matches for the most part, but she wasn't able to control the pace and the distance. Okay? Both Rose and Shevchenko dictated the pace and the distance of the fight. They both did it a little bit differently. Shevchenko likes to back up, little half steps, play the countering role and stuff like that, but she was able to feed off of Joanna's aggression, use it against her. Rose dictated it. She was actually a little bit more aggressive. She didn't play the counterpunch role, but she was able to dictate where the fight happened by all of her footwork and cutting the angles. She was quick enough and intelligent enough that she could move in, land shots, and get out, and she could work angles that would throw Joanna off, which wouldn't allow her to set up her offense. Okay, that's when she has trouble getting her offense off. It's not going to happen with Zhang Weili. She's a different type of fighter. Like I said, I think they're getting great odds here with her an underdog. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let me know. Drop it down in the comments, something like that. But can't wait for this one. It's going to be a great co-main event on what should be a pretty good card.